Welcome to the season 2 of Voice of UMaT Up Close, where we bring to you popular personalities on campus who are going to answer the questions we know you want to ask, but you never got the opportunity to ask. They would also tell us what motivates them and how they're also going to motivate their followers and the students body as a whole. Sir Johnson, you are welcome to Voice of UMaT Up Close. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all by God's will.
I'm glad. Okay, so I would like to start by asking you to tell us a bit about yourself. You know, your name, your program, your level, position, if you hold any, and maybe a bit of yourself, like something people wouldn't know. Let's start from the basics, something small.
All right, so I'm Johnson Nketiah, and then I'm mostly called Sir Johnson. I'm in mining engineering department, a level 400 students, meaning I'll be leaving very soon.
Very soon, too soon.
Yes, and talking about my life, okay, currently I'll say I hold no SRC position. However, I am the recruitment head for AFEM. That's African Institute for Mining Professionals and Practitioners.
Oh, wow.
Yes. It's a mining-related association on campus, and I'm their recruitment head. So, and then for PENSA, I am the Foreign Students Coordinator, and just a few other positions. You know, I'm the course rep for mining engineering, right?
Yes.
So these are the few positions I have on campus.
Okay. From what you just said, I have some follow-up questions. How did the name Sir Johnson come about? And secondly, are you a foreigner? How did you get a position as the foreign student?
Okay, so for Sir Johnson, I think it came out as a result of my teaching experience. Yeah, I taught before coming to school. I taught for about 4 or 5 years before coming to school. And fortunately, or let me say unfortunately, I met some of my students here. Yeah, so they started Sir Johnson, and then that's how come it got to almost everyone. And I actually like it because it became a brand name. You get it? Yes.
Yeah, it actually became a brand.
A brand name.
So speaking of you teaching, can you tell us the reason why you taught? Because that's actually a huge gap. 3-4 years is a huge gap. So can you tell us why that gap?
So initially, my interest wasn't in engineering. Yeah, I was actually planning on going into the medical side. Yeah, that was where my interest was. So right from the SHS, I had the interest to be a medical practitioner. And so I even started a medical course for 2 years, and then I had to drop out. Yeah, because I realized the interest had gone down. Yeah, so that course was taken online with one university in the United States. And it was time for me to go. Just after some few days, Corona came in, and then, a whole lot of lockdowns and everything. So I wasn't able to go. Yeah. So that's how come I had to wait for that number of years. It's because of where my mind was actually shifted towards the medical side. And now I had to swerve back to the engineering side. So that's the reason for the gap.
Okay. So from what you just said and from my previous question, so is it because you took a course in the United States, even though it seems it was a long distance, you were in the country whilst you were doing it out in the US? Is that why you are currently the head of the foreign students?
Oh, no, it has no relation to that.
And so how did you get that position? Because I'm curious. You're a Ghanaian. Nketiah is a Ghanaian name.
Yeah. But, the I'll say Pentecost Students and Associates, that's PENSA. It's quite versatile. And we have the foreign students side too. And so we have to get someone who will be a coordinator between the foreign students and the executive, which is the LCs, or the church at large. So that's the main reason we have that portfolio. And it's not based on whether you are a foreigner or not. I am sure the church may want to get a foreigner as a foreign student coordinator. However, as it stands now, it's quite unfortunate that we don't have very active foreign members. That's the main reason. We have to take up that role and then be the link between them and then the church.
Okay. I'm very sure you're taking good care of your role. Even as a
course.
course rep, we can see it.
Of course.
Yes, actually, I met a lot of people actually saying they like your leadership as a course rep. So I can only imagine the rest. You're doing a great job.
Thank you so much.
Yes, that brings me to Axon. You said even though you came to university late because of your own reasons, your own personal reasons, when you came, did you have something you wanted to engage in, like something you made up your mind about that you wanted to engage in?
Yes, yes, definitely. Because just a few of us that will come to the university without plans. You get just a few of us. So obviously I had plans of coming to the university. One of my plans was to end with a first class. Yes, which I know I will.
I was actually eventually going to ask you about your academics.
Okay.
Oh, I'm quite impressed.
Yes, I know I definitely will end with a first class. And one other thing I wanted to do was student politics. And I would say student politics, which I am currently doing. Yes. Before I came to the university, even before I gained admission to UMaT, I had completed the SRC Constitution. I had completed the standing orders, the early standing orders. So I really knew what I was coming to do. Yes. So that's the plan I had, that I was coming to do politics. That's it.
So that means that you've always had interest in politics?
Oh, yes. Not always, but I'll say while I was home and then when I was getting ready for university, I had the interest.
Did something trigger that or nothing triggered? It was just an inborn thing?
Oh, for leadership, I would say right from infancy. I always loved to be a leader. However, from SHS, I wasn't into student leadership. I mean, student politics, like, head boy, those things, SRC this, SRC that. I wasn't into that. I was actually into church stuff. Yes. So yes. I can say I'm a church boy.
Well, okay.
Yes.
That's not a bad thing. It's actually very good.
It's not. And I'm never going to regret that. I really love that part of my life. Yes. Getting into the church stuff, and then coming into the student leadership. Yeah, it's such a nice experience for me. Sometimes when I sit back, relax, and then start thinking about them, I realize how nice it is. So I'm never worried about that.
So yes, you did say so at home, everything. So that means that the interest for politics came, right? So are you, sorry to ask you, I hope you're not offended by this question, but are you desperate for power?
No, I'm not desperate for power, but I'm desperate for change. Yes. I'm desperate for change. Transformation. All I want to see is progress. That's we move from one stage to another. So that's all I wanted for the university and then the students at large. So I'm not desperate for power, but I'm desperate for change. Okay.
So you said no. So but then why did you decide to jump straight into for SRC president in year 2? Because for most people, they would use year 1, year 2 to gather their people so that they can go for SRC president in year 3. It was quite rare to see a year 2 students do that. So can you tell us why?
For that decision, now the thing is, I want to be the SRC president, or I wanted to be the SRC president since we've had the election already. I wanted to be the SRC president right from level 100. And so maturing to level 200, where I can vie for any position on campus. Why should I go in for a different one, knowing very well that my goal is the SRC president? And knowing my potentials, I knew I could win when I was in level 200. So that was the reason I had to just go straight.
Yeah, you actually did carry force with you. I won't lie.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so yes, you still claim you're not desperate for power, but you're rather desperate for change. But then you did send the election results to court when you were in your 3rd year, which was last year, after, sorry to say, you lost. So why did all of that come? And I didn't know your people, you guys wrote a communique I didn't know you guys wrote a communique and all, but I think it didn't reach everyone. I would like you to explain what exactly transpired and everything.
So the main reason we wanted to appeal the election results wasn't because we lost, but it's because of the, I'll say, unfair process the election went through. You understand? Election that was planned to start at 7, starting around 1, and closing within the same time range, which is 4. Now, where on earth do we use 3 hours for SRC presidential election? So that's the main reason. And we didn't want to set a kind of precedence where whichever SRC EC that comes to power can do whatever they want. That's just in case you want your, so-called aspirant to win, you just do whatever you can within your powers to push the time back so that, I hope you're understanding me. So that's the main reason. We wanted to set that kind of precedence where SRC EC can't do whatever they want. Okay. Yes.
So do you feel you accomplished that goal, or you feel it wasn't accomplished?
I would say I accomplished the goal to some extent. On a scale of 1 to 100, I can say we did like 90%. Yes. And the main reason I'm saying we did like 90% is because now almost every student leader on campus knows that elections are supposed to start at 7. It will be interesting to know that some of the SRC, aspirants didn't know that it was in the constitution that we should start elections at 7 o'clock. You understand? So now they all know. And whenever any SRC EC wants to mess up with the timing, they can definitely fight back. And I am actually looking forward to seeing some SRC leaders write letters to cancel the election on the election day when the timing goes back. We can't start elections at 9. Meanwhile, it was planned to start at 7. No, it's just a 2 hours difference, yet there is much implication on that. And so I am actually looking forward to that. That a time will come based on this precedent, people will stand on our platforms and say that we are telling our people not to come and vote because the EC said we are starting at 7. And it is now 9, which the election has not started. And so I know when we get to know these things, we will be able to, balance things in such a way that we all will be okay with whatever we are doing.
Okay. So can you tell us, in your second year, there was a bit of a rumor about you being disqualified?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so can you put some light on that for us?
Oh, yes. So I think it was, should I say, a staged something? Yes, it was a staged something.
Oh, interesting.
I'm not going to mention names, but maybe this is the right time for me to share this story.
Yeah, we would be glad.
After we were disqualified, some, as at that time, SRC executives called me and they were like, just because we know you are affiliated to Frimpong Manson and Frimpong Manson did this, that to us, we wanted to pay his people back. So that's the main reason they planned all these things. And they showed me how they did it, how they worked the then SRC JC, the Chief Justice, how they worked him out to, get us out of the race. And they knew very well that we were going to win if they leave us to come. Yes, and I'm not saying this to brag, but I knew I would say I know what I carried us at that time. So they just wanted to keep us out of the race so that their aspirants can. And the number of calls I received when we were taken out. I received a lot of calls. We want you to join forces with this person. We want you to do this, we want you to do that. But I knew this wasn't the end. So I just decided to stay back and then push the agenda again because I knew they had no basis for what they were doing.
Okay.
And so there was no way they were going to complicate issues in the coming year or maybe implicate my coming the next time, even though it came up, but I knew it wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah, so with you being treated unfairly and it being pushed to the next year, and I believe you actually used half of the election, the campaign period to explain how you are not disqualified and you can run for another position. How did you have any plans on correcting that or working on that? Because even though you wrote communiques, it didn't go out there. So can you explain a bit more around that area?
Around the disqualification?
Yes, the disqualification and how it pushed and how it affected you and your people when you came the second time.
For the effects, I would say it was massive. It was massive. It had a lot of effect on us. Personally, it didn't have much effect on me because I'm not boasting, but I'm that kind of guy that's nothing really worries me. You understand? Especially when I know I have my ways out. You get it? So personally, it didn't worry me that much. But you know, you have followers. And I want to appreciate my followers. In fact, maybe that's the right platform for me to extend my gratitude to them. I did everything on their wings. To be honest, Sir Johnson was everywhere. People were hearing Sir Johnson. And the main reason is because of the kind of people I had with me. They were correct guys and ladies, correct people. And in fact, I take off my hat for you guys. I want to say, definitely, you know, when people start tagging your aspirant with some kind of corruption, it will definitely have an impact on you, right? So it's had impact on my people. Some decided to go out, but I can literally count those who went out. That's why I'm very appreciative to those who stayed with us. Yeah, so that was the impact. We spent almost half of the entire year explaining ourselves that this is not true. What they are saying is not right. Yet, you know, sometimes things are meant to be what they are meant to be.
I'm sure. I'm sorry about that. But we realized that in your third year, you changed your vice from Solomon to someone else. So can you tell us why? Because we were all expecting you to come back with Solomon. And can you also tell us more about you being endorsed? Sorry, the word wasn't coming. You've been endorsed by so many people.
Yeah.
So we would like to know about that side.
Okay. So for the vice issue, it wasn't an issue within the team, but I realized it was an issue out there. People were asking, why did he change his vice? Why did he change his vice? Within the team, we had no problem with that. And I must say that Solomon was even the one who suggested that we go in for a different person. You know, this is politics and we deal with numbers. It's not about what has happened before we brought Solomon, but we were talking about numbers as at that time. You understand? We needed the numbers. And so Solomon, after realizing Padmore had the numbers as at that time because of his good works as the SRC PRO, the then SRC PRO, he decided that why then don't we go in for him? And then, and we never sidelined Solomon. Solomon was part of the agenda. Wherever you see me, you see Solomon. Yeah, so let's take note of that. Wherever you see me, you see Solomon. So those of you that were thinking Solomon was sidelined, no, he wasn't sidelined. It was just a decision to get the numbers. Because as at that time, I'll say that we had almost everyone that knew me knew Solomon. So we needed a neutral person who would bring people or forces from a different side. So that's the main reason we had to do that change.
Okay.
Yes.
And the other one I asked was, you were endorsed by quite a number of people.
Yes, with that.
Yes. So can you tell us more? Because you became fortified overnight. So we're wondering. So
Yes, yes.
And I liked the way you guys used, I don't know, sticks to build the video you guys did around.
Yes. So that concept wasn't from me. It was from one of the our team. I don't know if you know him. Yeah, he was the then Mr. President. He joined forces at the latter part of the election, getting closer to the election. And he brought that idea. It was a nice idea, though. So actually, we were building UMaT. And someone said that we didn't get the land to build UMaT. It was such a nice thing. Yeah, the endorsements, we didn't actually plan for them. You know, when people realize that you are going somewhere, they want to join forces. So that's the main reason. We didn't plan for them. And I'll say Maybe, not maybe, God directed their hearts towards us.
Yes. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you so much about giving us a bit background of your life and then some into your political life. So can we move into your personal life if you wouldn't mind?
Of course.
So I would be very blunt. So Johnson, do you have a girlfriend?
No, please.
And you don't have anyone you are like maybe talking to or
No.
being or in a situationship with, not even a crush? Nothing.
Yes, I'm proudly single.
You see, there is no agenda guy who would ever admit that they are in a relationship. But you are done with agenda now.
Yes, I'm done.
But you still won't admit it.
It's not that I won't admit. There is nothing like that.
So you're telling me
There
you
is
are
nothing-
single.
Yes, I'm single.
Okay. But then we've heard rumors that you are with someone and you claim that person is your cousin.
I think I've heard those rumors too.
So is that
I've
true?
heard them. It's not true.
It's not true.
Yes, it's not true. Yes, as I said earlier, I don't have any girlfriend.
Okay, but you had before.
That was when I got to school. No.
But before you
Yes,
came to
before I
UMaT.
came to UMaT, I had a girlfriend.
Oh, I wish I could ask you what happened, but we are on camera.
Maybe behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, I'll ask you.
Yes.
Yes. So what's your take on agenda boys sexually harassing girls? This is actually quite common, but I would like to have your intake on that.
Yes, it's common as you said. I've heard a lot. Yeah, where sometimes you are engaging some of the ladies and they will be like, this agenda person said this, did this, that, a lot. So my take on that is, it's high time the ladies also got to know their left from right, you understand? I think we should actually educate them more on this. Now, are you aware that if anyone harasses you sexually on campus, you can report the person?
To who?
Oh, to
And-
any authority and they will take it up. Yes,
But
to any
okay, I have a
authority and they
question.
will take it up.
Assuming the SRC president, this is just an assumption.
Yeah.
The SRC president decides to make a move on me, sexually harass me. Maybe I went to him for something, help. He's my president, and he decides to press me down, and whatever happened. Do you think I would have the guts to? Who else am I going to? Apart from who would I go to?
Maybe yes, except you enjoyed it.
Of course, I would. This is harassment. I wouldn't enjoy it.
Yes, if you enjoyed it, then maybe you just keep quiet. But if not, you can definitely take him on.
But who? That's what I'm saying. Because this is somebody who is really high up there.
Yes, he is high up there in front of the students, but not in front of the administration. You understand? So you can report him to any higher authority, from the dean of students, to the vice chancellor, whoever you think is best fit for the report. You can send the person there.
Okay.
Yes.
So you also mentioned that ladies need to know their left from their right.
Yes.
So do you have some sort of advice for them, for us?
Yes, I think the advice I would give is how we are able to develop our emotional intelligence. Some will just fall for this, enjoy the immediate pleasures. And then after that, they realize it was a harassment. You get it? So I would advise that we become emotionally stable. I'm talking to the ladies, emotionally intelligent, so that these things will not be much of a problem with us, so that we'll be able to know how to handle them. You understand?
But I also think the guys too need to also put dicks in your pack.
Okay. I prefer to keep quiet. But
I'm sorry, it's a touchy subject for any lady at all.
They have to. They have
Yes. Because we're always being told we have to be the ones that are supposed to be careful. We need to check how we talk, how we dress, where we go. But what exactly are they doing about it? And come to it, the executives, our leaders, the SRC, what do you suggest they do about it? Because I feel like they need to put certain measures in place for that as well.
Yeah, this should actually be a collaboration between the welfare committee and then the WUCOM, right? Where they will mount something like a committee, maybe sexual harassment, something. So whenever you feel like you are being harassed sexually, and just recently I had a call from someone whom I know the person. And the person called me, reporting to me that his cousin over here has reported that someone is trying to take advantage of and all that. So I had to step in and, talk to them and a whole lot. So I think the SRC should set a committee like that. When you feel like you are being harassed sexually, you should be able to go there and then report. And since they are already in position, they should know how to work around it. And that's the best interest of the people, right? And that's the main reason you have voted for. So that's the main reason you are supposed to work on it. So I think the SRC can do that.
Okay, sure. Thank you very much. Yeah, I hope our SRC will do that. I hope our presidents, our WUCOM, the welfare chairman, they will see this video and do something, because our girls are suffering in silence. So the last question before we end this wonderful conversation, what legacy do you want to leave behind? For your legacy, what is the last statement or sentence you would like to give the people?
Okay, so for the legacy, I would say
your last message,
okay,
to the students. I just want to hear what your last message is.
Yeah, I would want to see that someone will refer to Sir Johnson sometime to come and say that if Sir Johnson was here, I am sure this thing would have been done right. That's the kind of legacy I want to do. And also, even though I don't have any position at the moment, but I want to leave that kind of legacy where whoever I am supposed to help on campus develop themselves, I'll be able to do that before I leave. So that's the kind of legacy. And I want to extend my gratitude to each and everyone watching us over there, each UMaT student, for your support, everything. When we lost the election, I couldn't even open WhatsApp because the messages were coming. They kept coming. And it's not like I just didn't want to open WhatsApp, but I felt like, wow, I have a lot of people who care about me.
Yeah. You really do.
And I really appreciate that. So thank each and every one of you over there for the support and the prayers and, everything you did for me. I know very well that we are not ending here. And so we are going to meet ourselves up there. And I know the Lord is definitely going to bless us. And also, I want to extend my warm wishes to the current SRC administration. It is my fervent prayer that whatever plans they have for the best interest of the students will be accomplished. And I know very well that it will be accomplished.
Thank you very much for having us, Sir Johnson.
Thank you so much.